Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Brazil Bound, presented by Castrol GTX High Mileage right here on MLSsoccer.com with Andrew Wiebe. I'm Nick Furshaw. We're on location in Manaus in the Amazon, not far from the equator. And look, it lives up to the hype. It's hot, it's humid, it's mid-80s. That's why we're dressed down a little bit and pouring some sweat. We came down here to the docks to get on the Amazon River. That's why we came.
Look, if you come to Manaus, if you come to the Amazon, you gotta get on the river. And you mentioned the heat. It may only be 85, but that sun is literally cooking me through my shirt. I can feel old sunburns getting burned again. But we gotta find our guide. Pino's down here somewhere. He's gonna get us on the river, give us a little inside look at what the Amazon has to offer. Well, Nick,
This is good, keep it, we're done.
Well, Nick, when Manaus was announced as one of the host sites for the U.S., I think a lot of people back home thought middle of the jungle, straight Amazon, and it is. It's in a whole different time zone than where we were in Sao Paulo, but there are 1.9 million people living here, more easily than in Natal. And although industry is big here, the main attraction is right where we are, right on the river.
Yeah, this is the gateway to the Amazon, which means a lot of tourism comes through here, a lot of packages like the one we're on right now, tourists going out on the river. And one of the biggest tourist attractions is the meeting of the rivers. So I'm not going to get into all the science here, but there's a number of tributaries from the Amazon River that come together here. One's called the Rio Negro, one's called the Rio Blanco, and the two meet together. The Blanco River is a little bit cooler because it comes down from the Andes Mountains and it has a lot of nutrients in it. The Rio Negro is darker and a lot hotter, and it's got a lot of decayed vegetation in the river. Now when these two rivers meet, they can't really acclimate to one another. So after about 3 miles, they run together at the same time as they sort of mix together. That's the biggest tourist one of the biggest tourist attractions here, and one of the reasons why I'm psyched to see it. So one of the side trips here on our tour, we went down one of the tributaries on the Amazon here, and like a family of people pulled up. First it was 2 kids in a little skiff, and they brought on board a monkey and a small caiman, but then a whole bunch of other stuff showed up.
Yeah, the parade continued of animals. Actually, the anaconda just got done rubbing my leg. He's been wrapped around people's necks for a lot of this. A sloth, a massive caiman, I guess in terms of the Amazon. Pretty interesting stuff though. Glad I got to hold a couple.
Yeah, it's been interesting so far. Hopefully it's gonna get better from here.
River, you know, caimans, monkeys, the likes. We ended up at this restaurant, this floating restaurant for a little grub, and we met up with a couple Americans, Ryan and Mitchell here from Virginia. They're in Manaus for a couple days, based out of Sao Paulo. But guys, how is the Amazon so far? Give people at home a little taste.
It's hot and sweaty.
All right, everybody, I got Alex from LA here. We're in the Amazon right now. You mentioned before we were on camera here, this is your second World Cup. You did Germany in '06. How does it compare so far?
That's a great question. This is a little bit more wild. There's it's just like, we're in the Amazon right now. We're going to a World Cup game later.
Yeah. Got massive bugs flying around us. You guys D'd up? I mean, I know I got 98 on, so.
Long sleeves.
Yeah, they went long sleeves, very prepared.
What's the rest of your schedule like here? Are you sticking around, or you go straight back to the States from here?
Sticking around for a couple more days here, then Recife for a few days, then back to LA for, I guess, the second round. But yeah, here for the group stage, which I think is the most interesting time to be here, because more fans, more countries playing, more excitement usually for us, because we're always in the group stage. So.
Well, tonight, gonna be at the stadium, of course. It'll be your second game here at this World Cup. Who's gonna win this one? US can get through with a win against Portugal. What do you think?
USA.
I think USA. Ryan and Mitchell here from Virginia. Let's get back on the water.
But you only get one chance to go around the Amazon, really. At least you and I have only had one chance. So unfortunately, we had to cut it short. We're a little bit disappointed, but we're back here on the dock in Manaus. Now we got to go back to the hotel, and obviously the big game, the U.S. national team in Portugal.
Yeah, just 5 hours left until we hit Arena Amazonia. A massive game. They could go into the knockout round after this. Make sure you stick with us, though. We're headed back to Sao Paulo and then to Recife. There's some sharks in the water there. I, Nick, am terrified. He's going to make me get in.
Yes, they love that tender Midwestern meat. We'll see if we can get you in the water in Recife. That's the site of the U.S.-Germany game on June 26th. Make sure you keep it tuned to MLSsoccer.com for complete coverage of the U.S. national team here in Brazil at the World Cup. It's Brazil bound, presented by Castrol GTX High Mileage right here on MLSsoccer.com.